Hi, and welcome to the fourth episode of my podcast, Real Impact. Today, I have on a very special guest and a good friend of mine, Veronica Edgerle from California. She's inspired me to put myself out there and to share my faith, and I'm really appreciative of that. So, with that, let's get started. Hi, Veronica.
Good morning, Kyle. How are you?
Good morning. Good, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you.
It's good to hear. So, before we get started, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your background, and I guess how you got to where you are now.
Sure. I don't know how far back you want me to go, but I'll just start with I went to school in Arizona, and that's where I met my husband. And we decided, well, we both got jobs up here in San Jose, California. He worked at Cisco and has worked there for many years. And I worked at Silicon Graphics. It was a small company. And I worked there about 3 years, and we decided to start a family. And because we had to live like 35, 40 minutes away, when we had our firstborn, I was leaving him with a nanny while he was asleep, commuting to work, and then by the time we got home, she had already put him to bed. And that broke my heart that I didn't get to see my son all day because of work. So I decided to quit and raise a family. And for the last 27 years, I have been a stay at home mom. And then recently, I started doing sub two about a month ago. So here I am, meeting new people.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. How long have you? So you originally lived in Arizona. When did you move
Mhm.
to California?
So I was born and raised in California, up in Northern California, in a small town called Willits. And then I went to school in Arizona in 87, and then in 91 I moved back to California. So I
Okay,
was
nice.
just gone for a few years just to go to school.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was too
that's
hot.
interesting. Um, you said you just started sub two, and I think you're also starting to wholesale, right?
Right. So that's my main focus is just wholesaling for now. Um, Trying to earn a little bit of money to invest. I I guess I could use my husband's money. Well, it's our money, but I kind of want to do it myself. I
Hmm.
want to prove to myself that I could do this. So I'm really focused on wholesaling, and in the process of wholesaling, I'm also hoping to help my family. So I have a son that lives in California in San Francisco, and two daughters that currently live with us. One is a nurse, and she's got a little savings, and it's growing. Actually, it's a big savings account now. So I'm hoping that I could help her find her first property and not have to pay full retail. So my goal is to help my kids stay in California because it's so expensive. I don't want them to move.
Hmm.
I'm hoping to have grandkids someday.
Yeah, you want to be close to them, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's great. That's what's good. That's what's nice about sub two is there's the group itself. Like there's so much different ways to go about real estate, and like a creative finance just makes sense because that especially in this market with interest rates where they're at, it just makes sense all around to go that route.
yeah. And honestly, um, we can help a lot of people out, right? They're
Hmm.
trying to sell their homes. I'm looking at one home right now. They're trying to sell it, and if they sell it the traditional way, they're going to have to pay out of pocket like $20,000. So I'm hoping that the real estate agent will be able to talk to the seller and try this way because we could actually put some money in his pocket and and help him out. So
Hmm.
yeah, It's good for everybody, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I haven't done a deal like that. I've bought a property way back. Well, not way back, but 3 years ago. But I actually paid cash for it. So
Oh,
um,
okay.
yeah, back when the interest rates were like super low, like 3%. So yeah,
Right.
I sometimes wish I would have done it differently, but you kind of live and you learn. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
We wish we would have taken out a line of credit on our home, so we would
Hmm.
have access to cash at that low interest rates as well.
Yeah, that would
But
definitely
we
definitely
missed
make
that
sense.
boat, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, there's always, that saying, what is it? I think it said, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but
Right.
the second best time is now. So yeah.
Exactly. We
Yeah,
missed the boat.
yeah, you're also part of Project Forward, right?
I am, yeah,
That's
right.
I'm as well, and that has been very good for me. Like it's pushed me to kind of do things that I wouldn't really thought of before. Like 6 months ago, like I had no idea I'd be doing a podcast and putting myself out there. And it's been good so far, and I'm excited for what's coming with that. What has been your I guess your biggest takeaway from that so far?
So I think that's great. It's not anything that I'm comfortable with. So I have never been big. I like social media, but I've not been into posting on social media. I think I have like 6 personal posts on my Instagram and maybe 2 or 3 on Facebook. I don't know. I'm not used to it. Um, and and I miss a lot because I don't go on it very often. But I'm getting better at going on it, and I'm hoping that this project forward will help me be better at posting and being more visible and establishing a presence at least on social media because I don't think that I have that yet. And I really have enjoyed watching you because when I first joined Sub 2, I don't know how we met. We were on a
I
Zoom
think it was
together.
JJ's Azizian
Oh,
Zoom.
okay.
I think that's where we are. If you
Yes,
is that somewhere you've been? I think
I
that's where
have
it
been.
was. Yeah, I
We're
think that's
both
where it
on
was.
JJ's. Yeah, but I think we met before that. I
Could
don't
be.
remember.
I'm not sure either, but
Yeah, I'm not sure because I joined JJ's after we met. And the reason I joined JJ's, and it might be the same reason you joined, is just so that we can get that social media presence. And I think he helps guide people along with that
mhm.
as well. So he's taught me a couple things on what to do on Facebook to get a little bit more. I haven't posted anything. Oh yeah, I have. I started posting when I'm on a Zoom call and I really get something out of it, I try to post that. I tried to post one of them, and I think JJ saw it, but it just didn't show up. It just showed that I tagged people on it. So
Mhm.
really, technology and we haven't made a connection yet.
Well,
But I'm hoping that someday it'll happen.
I'd be happy to share any whatever I've been able to gather from
Thank
other
you. Be
people.
careful what you offered, Kyle. I just have to warn you.
No,
Because
I'd be happy to help.
okay,
I'm not great at it either, but I've learned some things and played with different things. Like you can kind of mess with the algorithms, like Facebook and Instagram, where you
okay,
like certain things you do, like they like it and they kind of push your content out a little bit more. So one thing I've been noticing on Instagram, like I started following people that are doing what I want to do, and I go
right.
in and like their stuff and comment, and that definitely I think that boosts the algorithm as
Okay,
well. So and using
okay.
in Facebook using is it a I'm not sure I've there's a this big debate if it's a GIF or a GIF, um,
Oh, right.
but uh, but either way, it's I think that helps as well. It boosts. boost the algorithm, and using like a heart instead of just a thumbs up
Oh, right. We
is
learned that at
supposed
JJ's.
supposed
So I
yeah,
have been
I've learned
following that.
a lot of that stuff from JJ. He kind of well, he kind of called me out on it because we were in the Zoom and he picked me out. Pulled up my profile and kind of critiqued it and told me what I could do better. But yeah, it worked out well. It's helped definitely. So
Right. Well,
so
shout out
yeah,
to
I
JJ.
what was that? Shout
A
out to
shout out to
JJ. Yeah,
JJ.
yeah. Yeah, anyways, what I guess what has been your biggest challenge with, I guess, social media? You said technology is kind of, um
Uh, so, a while back I tried to make a post with several pictures, and instead of posting one post with like 5 pictures in it, it came out as 5 different posts, and my kids laughed because of the way it was posted. And after that, I just kind of stopped because I was like, I'm just not good at it, and the world doesn't need to see, all this anyway. So it wasn't a big deal. I figured like the people that needed to know already knew. So
well, I think the world definitely needs to know about you. Uh,
yeah, so
but,
I'm learning that is in sub 2, people do business with people they like and
mhm,
know. And
mhm,
if they don't know me, they can't like me. And if if that relationship or connection isn't there, then they can't do business with me. So I do need to get out there and start putting myself out there so people know me. It's kind of like introducing myself to them and hanging out with them without having to be there.
mhm,
And then they'll do business with me because I already am sharing some of what I'm doing because I'm also investing, doing some investments, and I invested in Pace's fund of funds, so in his multimedia, and I started sharing that with my friends that I golf with, and really interested. So they're like, "Well, how do we get in on that?" So now it's like, "Oh, I can help my friends too
mhm,
invest their money." So I can see now that I do. I guess I could add value. Before, I guess I just thought, well, I'm just gonna wholesale and do
mhm,
this, on my own, this real estate investing. But people are really interested now, so I guess it is time to get out there and
mhm.
share it.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's interesting. Like you said you're part of a fund of funds, is that right? Is Paces?
Pace's fund. Yeah.
So were you part of the property that closed? Yes, was it yesterday? Is that you know at
I
all?
don't I don't think so. There's a property in Arizona, and I am working with Brittany, so we're still trying to get everything situated. So I don't
Mm.
think they're there to be used yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Now that makes sense. Yeah, that's a great way to invest. Like I've just recently kind of started learning about that type of model, like a fund of funds or just being a passive investor. And I
Hmm.
was surprised that yeah, I'm just learning about multifamily, and I was surprised at the returns that offers for people.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
mean, you can make
good.
some good money just basically signing some documents and sending some money. I mean, some very good
Yeah.
returns. So it's I
Right.
mean, it's attractive to people, especially people that are busy. Maybe they have like especially like doctors or lawyers or someone like that. They don't have time to go find the deals, but um, there's an opportunity for them to invest, own real estate, and take advantage of the possibly some tax benefits as well as good returns. So I definitely like that type of model.
For sure. Yeah. And it's a I guess there's risk with everything, but it's a safer way to invest rather than the stock market because the stock market is so up and down and unpredictable that this, at least well, in
Hmm.
investing with, if you do your diligence and know who you're investing with, there's a security with that, right?
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and there's also
And I
the
know we're in another. another group together that we're looking at multifamily investments with as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So
I've seen you in a couple of their webinars. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So that's something
um,
that I'm looking for in the future.
yeah. Shout out to the $1 Million Upside team.
That's
Some
right.
of my some of my favorite people in the multifamily space. I've been able to meet them in person, and most of them, anyways. And yeah,
Oh,
awesome
wonderful.
people. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I've
I
met with them on Calendly only, on
mhm,
video. So
yeah,
looking
yeah.
forward to
They're
that.
just regular people, and but they've got a good thing going, and um, I just think they're going to do some big things in the multifamily space. So,
Yeah,
can you kind
definitely.
of switch gears a little bit? Would you have like a memorable story or experience that had like a profound impact on you?
In
Yeah,
sub
that's a tough
two or
question, but
just overall?
just overall.
Yeah, I think I have a big one. So, I think the thing that shaped me the most in my life is um, when I decided to go to college. I was the oldest daughter, and I had an older brother. And a recruiter from a school named DeVry came to talk to my brother about the school. And I think he had already graduated. So I was a senior, or he was a senior, and I was a junior. And he was recruiting my brother for engineering school. And I was sitting at the table with my parents and the recruiter. And I told him before the meeting was over that I was interested in going to school there. And he hadn't looked at me because he was all so focused at my brother. And my brother was unsure if he wanted to go, but I said, I'm going to go. I want to go there. And he's like, okay. He goes, what grade are you in? And the shift focused to me. And sure enough, when I graduated, I went to Arizona. But my parents, knowing that my brother was also going to Arizona to that school and I was going, they decided to move back to Mexico. And I was at that time 17. They dropped me off in Arizona with my younger sister, who was at the time 16, and another brother that was 15. And my oldest brother, that was 18, stayed in our hometown, Willits, in Northern California. And my parents moved to Mexico. So here I am, 17-year-old with a 16 and a 15-year-old in Arizona trying to go to school, having a full-time job, and trying to raise these two. I didn't see it as raising them at the time because they were my brother and sister and we were just having fun, right? Um, and they moved. Um, so we kind of had to do everything on our own. We had to figure out the public transportation system. We had to figure out how to buy groceries and pay the bills and go to school. So their high school was right next door to the apartment that we found, so they could just walk to school and come home. But things started falling apart. As you can imagine, leaving teenagers to raise themselves, um, created some challenges. So my brother started getting a little bit of trouble in school. My sister was a little upset that she had to move from our hometown to this um, to this new town. So it wasn't really a happy situation. I think I was the only one that was happy because I was going to college and meeting new friends. But my brother stayed back in our hometown, and he was going to join us in February. But he got in a car accident and passed. So that changed everything. And I think it just kind of forced me to grow up really fast. Just to take care of things that needed to be taken care of. Uh, then, my parents started looking at things like maybe this wasn't such a good idea. So they took the two youngest that they had taken to Mexico and they moved back to the States. Um, but in that time, there was a lot of growth, I have to tell you. Um, Being forced into, I think I grew up as the oldest daughter, taking care of, the youngest kids in the family was natural to me. Um, and I have a fondness for kids. I love kids, just in general, from all ages, from, infancy to 20s and 30s. I still think kids in their 30s are kids to me.
Hmm.
And I love to help. So that's, I think that's made the biggest impact.
Hmm. Well, that's an incredible story. Having to well, take care of siblings at that young of an age and juggling like the going to school and also a job. Wow. And
Yeah.
just it's just a testament to the kind of person you are as well. You going through that loss and yeah, getting stronger through that. And it's also probably a testament to your faith as well, which is something that I take pretty seriously, and that's a big part of my life. So I guess what has like your faith what kind of role has it played in your life?
Yeah. So as you can imagine, during that time, I mean, I think I was prayerful. I really prayed a lot as a kid because we had a lot of challenges and struggles in our family. But when when I was forced to be on my own, I knew I wasn't alone. I prayed like constantly. Just, I'd have to walk home from work, in the evening. To be honest, I was scared, but I would pray, right? That's what I had. I had my faith, I had prayer. Um, and I thank God today that He was there for me all along. Yeah.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
feel
that's
blessed for sure.
something that I always feel like I can kind of lean back on when maybe some challenges come up or just worrying about if my message resonates with with my audience or with the people. But it's something I can always kind of fall back on, that knowing that I'm doing, I guess, hopefully doing God's work, and that's all that matters. So
Right.
thank you for
And
sharing that.
yeah, and I was talking to my daughter yesterday because she really has a good heart. Like my my nurse daughter, she had a hard day at work and she came home and she went straight to bed. She didn't eat dinner or anything. She just said, I had a hard day, and she went to bed. And it kind of scared my youngest daughter. She was like, oh no, Ellie's had a hard day. So she prepared her sister's lunch for the next day. She made her like a cold brew coffee and she prepared her breakfast and left her these little love notes in the refrigerator with all her next day's meals planned out and packed for her and wishing her a better day. And the reason that she can do that and she could be empathetic towards her sister is because of the struggles she had in earlier. And I know that's the way that we build that kind of character, right? We have struggles, and because of those struggles, we're able to be empathetic and sympathetic and help other people and do good for other people. So
Hmm.
it's the struggles that we face and how we go through them, that help us grow and then later give back. Like I always say, with one hand we receive from God, and with the other we're expected to help God's
Hmm.
people. So it's like He's always feeding us and providing for us and giving us, and we're supposed to pay that back and be His hands and feet here on earth. So
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
that's powerful. I think God put us all here to for like for a certain reason, and He gave us all like so much with Him. Like we can do anything. I think it's up to us to kind of develop that from within us and push ourselves um, to do His work and be a light for His kingdom. And
yeah, for
that's kind of
sure.
what I'm trying to do with this podcast and just trying to do my, I guess, feels like I um, have been more like living for myself and I want to share whatever I've been blessed a ton, and I just want to be able to give to other people and share the love of God with them. So yeah, it's we're all on this journey together,
Right.
and yeah, it's we go through the struggles and the hard times, but there's also a lot of good times, and I also want to have fun as well. I think we're supposed to have fun and enjoy each other. So
Right. Yeah. Share the blessings, right?
yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I think those blessings aren't for us to hold and keep, but to share as well,
Mhm.
with those that are less fortunate.
Mhm.
So I do have a heart for kids, but I think especially for kids in the foster care system. So eventually, I do want to have some, group homes for kids that have aged out of the foster care system. So I do look at like co-living and group homes and maybe assisted living because right now I have my mom who's older and she's still living on her own and doing quite well for 83. She's strong, but I know that someday she's going to need a little bit of help. So, how can I help her
Mhm.
is what I'm looking at. Yeah,
Yeah, that's being or the group home type of thing is a good way to. I feel like as an investor, a good way to provide like a home for someone that's going through a tough time, and also being able to have a business, like a good business as well, and kind of marry the two together. So yeah, I like that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know how this road will lead as far as investments for me go, but definitely it's at the forefront of my mind is how can I help people? How can I help my family? How can I help others in the community? Um, so that's my end goal is I don't know how that looks yet, but I know that's the road that I'm on.
Hmm.
So I just kind of will figure it out as I go. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
also have like these goals that are out there, and I know where I want to go, but I know the path will not be straight. Like it'll be kind of a winding road to get there, probably. So just with
Yeah, and I
different
think
things that come up.
everything yeah. And as we learn, we adjust our path, we pivot, right? So this is a good time to shift the focus on you, Kyle, because I too am we're in Project Forward together and we agreed to interview each other. So let's find out about you. Could you share, your
Sure.
past, your history and
Yeah,
how you
one
got
before we
here?
do that, why don't I like to end I like to usually end with like a tip or something, or maybe some
Okay.
books like you like to read, like real estate or just personal growth books in general. And then we'll get to the other part. So what do you have anything on your mind right now that you could share with the listeners?
Share. I think is just like just do it, like Nike's
Mm,
slogan says. Um,
I like it. I like it.
because honestly, when people think of investing in real estate and stuff, I don't think they think of a person like me that's not worked for 27 years and um, you know, uh, stay-at-home mom. I'm severely technically challenged. Maybe incapacitated or what. It's not my thing, but my husband is strong in that area, so
Mhm.
I'm relying heavily on him. Um, Finding people that can help also, that can help you on your journey, like you, Kyle, have offered to help me, and I definitely will take you up on it. Um, but then how I can give back is the challenge because I don't like to take without giving back. So that's one of my biggest challenges. Um, but as far as books go, I am a big reader. Well, no, I should say I was a big reader until I found Sub 2, and now I'm just a big Kajabi listener. I listen to a lot. I attend the Zooms. Um, but what I have really enjoyed is getting on the phone and talking to people. That is, I think, one of my strengths is just getting on the phone and talking to either sellers or real estate agents. Um, and yeah, that's where I started, and I've really enjoyed being on the phone and
Mhm.
calling. I just have to set a limit for myself so I don't talk on the phone all day because my jaws will hurt by the end of the day with all the talking I do.
Well, I can tell definitely that you're good at that. You have just a great personality and are able to connect with probably anyone you talk to. So I can definitely see that. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, well, I appreciate you coming on. It was a lot of fun and did not seem like 30 minutes at all.
It
So
did not.
really appreciate it. And we'll just end it here. And yeah, thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Now I have to